Let's do our quick review of the round. See how that turned out. Who do you think won? I've put the data into my spreadsheet, but I have not. I didn't look at who the winner was, so I think I know, but we'll see. So, what's that?
We were being called
Hustlers? Because you sandbagged it during the practice rounds, and now you're.
I think we just learned.
Yeah, in golf we call it sandbagging. So, okay. Anyhow, here we go. ROE. Look at that. Ferris though, 20.7, but that's still not terribly impressive. Because our student teams aren't that far behind, and usually I expect the computer teams to get off to a little bit of a head start, a little bit of an early start. So sales, Digby had huge sales though, so they're kind of dominating the market there in terms of sales, even more so than Ferris, which is good. Chester, decent. Erie, Balt, not bad. They're pretty well spread out. There wasn't a runaway by any means there, nor was there a falter by any team, which sometimes we start seeing fairly early. So, yeah, contribution margins, look at that. Everybody's over 30. Surprisingly, Ferris, which had the most profits, actually had the lowest contribution margin, but couple that with good sales. That's why they would have had the highest profit. Digby actually had the best sales, a really nice contribution margin, the biggest one, okay, but what brought them down a little bit? Their SG&A. Right, SG&A, probably some other expenses that we might see when we go down, but their SG&A, 18.2%, bigger than everybody's but Erie's. Probably what drove their sales though too, right? Okay, they probably spent a lot of money when we get down there and we look at the sales and promotions, especially. My guess is, just looking at this particular chart, that my guess is that they spent a lot of money, okay, getting market share, and that can be a good strategy going forward. We'll see. Those things tend to, you spend lots of money. I think it carries over a little bit from round to round, for one thing. Okay, for another, you're buying market share that you can kind of maintain throughout the round, and so this number can come down, right? Even if you maintain the same levels of spending, your percentage is going to come down, right, as your sales go up. So. Stock market, we see Team Erie bought back stock. Team Erie's not represented here today, so shame on them. Digby sold a little stock. That's kind of surprising, as I think Baldwin might have sold a little bit this round as well. I remember if that was this round or last round. I think Digby's was this round. I'm pretty sure Baldwin maybe did a little bit of both rounds. As has Andrews. I don't know. There again, I don't know if it was this round or last round. Okay. Pretty close. Every team's profitable. Every team's got positive earnings per share. Again, no runaway here, and no terrible failures. That's good to see. We see the two teams here that had kind of a big slide in that first round. They made a pretty nice comeback, getting back up there, and these four teams are battling it out up here for first place. Bonds looks like Baldwin, Chester. Erie's not afraid to borrow some money. Good for them. Andrews, a little bit, not big amounts, but little bits in the long end. I'm going to ask you a question on your homework this week. It's going to ask you look at your cash flow and tell me what these things, how the changes in cash flow here affect the balance sheet. Okay, so it's kind of important that you got to think these things through a little bit when you're looking at the cash flow and how that affects the balance sheet, right? Does it increase or decrease those accounts? I've talked quite a bit about those at times. Like, for example, Baldwin had a huge, increase in cash due to inventory. So what did that do to inventory on the balance sheet? What does that mean happened to inventory on the balance sheet? Okay. So you got to think those things through. Plant improvements, everybody spends money on plant improvements. Big amounts by Digby, mainly Digby. Andrews, decent amount. Okay, but Digby in particular spent a lot of money on plant improvements, so interesting to see what they got going on. Oftentimes it's introduction of a new product at this point in time. We'll have to see as we scroll down there. Could be just investments in capacity, who knows. Balance sheets, total assets. Yeah, you know, that's biggest sales, or one of the biggest sales. I guess their second biggest was Ferris, and yet they have the least assets. That's kind of interesting. So they're generating. Okay, that's good asset turnover, right? Good asset turnover shows good. You like to say that that's good efficiency, then good effectiveness and good efficiency. It's good use of the assets that you have. That's what you're saying. So you like to see that, and they've done a pretty good job of that, and they generated the most profits too with that. So equity, on the other hand, they got. Yeah, I guess their equity's second smallest. Okay, smallest being Team Erie. Not surprising, because Team Erie's kind of following. We can talk about them since they're not here. They're kind of following what they did. It looks like in the practice rounds, right? Basically, they're getting out of the high-end products, concentrating on low and traditional, and so as a result, you'd expect them to be a smaller company, right? They don't need the same capacity and those types of things if they're going to concentrate. Managing that size is a huge deal. Okay, for success. Income, nothing. Let's see, depreciation. You'd expect teams, look at that. Ferris again, smaller company, a lot less depreciation than say Team Baldwin at this point in time. Digby's is going to jump up. It looks like they spent a lot on plant improvement. Tons and tons of capacity, right? We got way more capacity than we need. Probably looks like about 2 to 1, maybe in terms of capacity to what we need. Look down here, you can kind of get an idea about that. We got some new products coming online. Yeah, I thought that Digby had maybe had one. They started selling it though, so that was last round. So my guess is they must have spent some money. Probably looks like an automation and some other things, because they sold this round. So Dixon was introduced last round, so their investments must have been in things other than that new product. Andrew's introducing a new product. Erie, I think. No, I don't know why I was thinking they might have been introducing a new product. Probably because I'm going crazy. Ferris, a new product coming online. Not a lot of difference here between the actual and potential. Some stock outs. Overall, too, I forgot to look at that. But overall, we don't have hardly any inventory, really. Right, when you take a look at that, and it looks like in the traditional segment there's definitely some, in the low segment there's definitely some, and otherwise just smatterings, right? And so there's not a lot of inventory. So were they a pretty good judge of what to sell? Well, maybe, but we might see, if we see some actual potential differences there, if people had higher potential that they didn't meet, then there might have been some stock outs that were costly. So we'll see. Not bad in the traditional, but we had inventory left over in the traditional, right? Low end, not bad there. We had inventory left over in the low end. Pretty even. A couple of companies. Now we're starting to see some, some disparities there. Looks like Andrews took advantage of Baldwin. Chester took advantage of, Digby and Erie. Maybe Ferris got a little bit of a benefit there. So, yeah, Chester. You guys gave Chester 5% of the high end. Okay. Baldwin gave up a decent amount there. A little bit, looks like 5% in that area, somewhere's in that neighborhood. Lots of stock outs there too in the high end. Lots of teams actually stocked out there. Chester's, of the big ones, Chester's the only team that didn't stock out in the high end, interestingly. That's why they took advantage of that. So lots of disparity here too, right? In the performance category, so lots of disparities. Again, Chester got lucky. Okay, got lucky, or everybody else was unlucky, or however you want to look at that. So Digby had a lot more potential there, tons of potential there. Okay. Lots of stock outs there. Once again, Chester the only team that didn't stock out. So, ooh, look at Baldwin, man. You guys lost out big in the size segment. How many percent is that? From 15 up to about 27. So you gave up about 12% of the size segment. So those would have been huge. You guys gave up 12% there, a little bit in the performance. Didn't I say quite a bit in the high? So yeah. So quite a bit of sales that Baldwin gave up there that surely would have been meaningful in terms of their profit. And look at that again, top 5 companies all stocked out. Once again, of the top 6 anyhow, Chester's the only one that didn't stock out in that particular category. So we saw when you looked up the production analysis too, Erie has basically gotten rid of their production in 2 of the segments. They still have some in the size segment, kind of surprisingly, but they got rid of the high and the performance segments. Actual versus potential. I don't think I asked you a question on the actual versus potential this round, so sorry about that. Perceptual map, see things kind of taking shape. You can see some teams here kind of, maybe letting products drift a little bit, and especially in the performance and size categories. Getting spread out here too, along that axis there. Getting spread out a little bit. You see some, was Echo originally a high? Yeah, it would have been originally a high-end product. So it looks like they're letting that drift back into the traditional segment. Again, kind of Erie's following the same route that they took in the practice rounds. Good competition up here. Look at Dixon right up there. Fist and Dixie's not too far, so you got Digby and Ferris kind of battling out there for the lead in the high-end segment. Kind of over here too in the size segment. Good battle. HR, see some spending on that. Chester and Erie both spending some money to reduce their employee cost. TQM, we're not to yet. So now who do you think won? Nobody really gave me an answer. You guys are all quiet. You're ready for spring break. Even though it's going to snow, a foot of snow. And then next week at the same time it's supposed to be 60 above. So.
Let's not say that because maybe they'll forget it's going to snow.
By the way, I should announce, our Skylights did get, they got a bid, of course, the national tournament, which is in Billings. So it's not that far away. Next week, their first game is scheduled for next Thursday night at 8 o'clock in Billings. So when you're making your spring break plans, consider that, going down and cheering on your Skylights. It's almost like home court advantage having the national tournament in the state of Montana and that close. So think about going down there and supporting your Skylights. I plan to be there next Thursday. I won't be taking attendance or anything like that, but I'll watch for you. How's that? So it's at the Metra. I think it's called something else now, Rimrock Auto something or whatever. So, but it's what we all remembered as the Metra. So yeah, it's going to be there. There is some motel. I got an email that's got a blocker room set aside too for Skylights fans, I think. I'll have to look today and see if I can make a reservation there still myself. So, and see. Natalie got named first team all conference. Sierra got second team all conference, and Molly and JC got honorable mention all conference. So we had 4 of our gals. On the guys' side, Tyler got honorable mention, and then he's not here.
No.
And then Strotter got the second team. Ryan got what?
Defensive player of the year.
Did he really? Good. There's blocks. Cool. I'm sorry, I just kind of looked at the gals because I was looking at their bracket and whatnot, so I looked at the Frontier Conference. So thanks for having that info for the guys. What's that?
We're going down there to support yourself.
Are you guys as a team?
No, just a few.
Some of you guys going down? Good. Yeah, I plan to be there. It should be fun. Say to have home court, kind of. We've watched on the video. I know I've watched the last few years when the gals have gone, and it's been fun then. But it should be even more fun to watch them. Watch them in person at the national tourney. So, okay. Do you want to see who won before we do I'll do that before we do the homework. So, your next decisions won't be due then until the Tuesday after we return from spring break, whenever that is. 27th, 14th, 21st, right? So Tuesday the 21st. Is that when I got your assignment due? I don't have a due date. I should make your assignment due this coming Tuesday. Well, that way you guys will get it done, and that way I could correct it maybe too over spring break. What do you think? Or are you guys all going to be good and just get it turned in anyways? Because you're going to get it done today in the class, right? You're not going to be stupid and wait and forget everything that I've told you.
We have it closed the 21st of March.
What's that?
We have it closed the 21st.
Ah, shame on me. All right, here we go. So who's the winner? Ferris. Contribution margin is Digby. Okay, big advantage there actually. Andrew second. Stock price, we saw a nice jump from Ferris. Baldwin, Erie. Interestingly, profits. Ferris, then Chester. Cash flow. Baldwin actually had good cash flow. So far, Ferris, followed by Chester in terms of overall points. Any deductions? Emergency loan, none. Nobody had an emergency loan this round, so that's good. Pretty good cash management. There wasn't a ton of cash sitting around. I worry about that sometimes too, too much cash. Erie, Baldwin each got dinged for leverage. I think Erie was way up there, like 3 maybe or something like that. I don't think Baldwin was too far over. I think you guys were 2.3 or something, so 2.4 or something like that. So just over my limit, I think. So, and working capital, Erie got dinged on that as well. So total score, because it was unaffected, Ferris, and followed by Team Chester. So Team Chester doesn't give a damn when I schedule the assignment for, right? Make it due Tuesday, next Tuesday. Make it due today. Okay, questions about the winner? We got that set up. You guys got any complaints about my scoring system? Nobody has any complaints. Team Chester doesn't. So, are you guys going to catch up to Team Chester? And okay, Team Chester got a break. You guys the rest of the teams kind of gave them, some goodies in a couple of those segments that they might not have had otherwise. So, bless you. Okay, I'm going to shut this down, but then I'll quickly go over the assignment too, but I'm going to start a new recording for the assignment if you guys give me a second or two.